This video is brought to you by Brilliant. Today, Serbia is warned by Russian intelligence of a possible coup. The US prepares for armed conflict in the Middle East, and Mexico rejects Ukraine's request to follow through on an arrest warrant for Putin. From TLDR News, this is your daily briefing for Monday the 12th of August 2024. Nationwide protests and rumours of a coup have erupted in Serbia after tens of thousands gathered in the capital over the weekend, demanding a halt to Rio Tinto's lithium project in western Serbia's Jedar Valley, which holds Europe's largest lithium deposit. For weeks, large-scale demonstrations have occurred in more than 50 cities. Protesters claim mining will poison Serbia and turn it into a lithium mining colony. Some protesters blocked rail traffic at Belgrade's two biggest stations overnight and briefly stopped traffic on a major highway. On Friday, President Aleksandar Vučić stated that authorities received information from Russian intelligence about a planned coup and mass riots in Serbia, supported by Western powers. The Serbian daily Vrsine Novosti claimed to have obtained a colour revolution handbook, allegedly intended for activists participating in the protests. The newspaper claimed that the handbook outlines methods used in colour revolutions in other countries. The Serbian Deputy Prime Minister also claimed that this is a classic scenario of colour revolutions, arguing this is an attempt at a new Ukrainian Maidan, and accused Western services of complicity in organising the demonstrations and attempted coup. However, the Rio Tinto project has official backing from the EU. Vučić signed deals last month with German Chancellor Olaf Scholz and the EU Energy Commissioner to grant EU member states producers access to raw materials mined in Serbia. The project was halted in 2022 following mass protests, but has now been given the green light after a court ruled last month that revoking Rio Tinto's permit was unconstitutional. If implemented, the $2.4 billion Jedar lithium project could cover 90% of Europe's current lithium needs for electric vehicle batteries, reducing the bloc's dependence on China. Describing the protest, the Green opposition leader has said people are angry that Serbia is being sacrificed to provide lithium for electric vehicles that pretty much nobody in Serbia can afford. The EU has also been criticised by activists for dealing with Vučić, widely accused of being an autocrat and corrupt, rather than supporting civil society and democracy in the EU candidate state. The global mining conglomerate, accused of conducting social warfare against villagers near the Jedar Valley, claims it faces a disinformation campaign over its preparations to open the mine. However, the company is known for human rights abuses and severe environmental destruction from Madagascar to Papua New Guinea to Australia. Mark Goodale, a professor of anthropology at Oxford, who studied the impact of lithium mining in Bolivia, said mining in Serbia will have catastrophic consequences, and that around 95% of the profits will go to Rio Tinto or pocketed by corrupt public officials. There's more on the way, but remember to subscribe and ring the bell for more daily briefing tomorrow. Plus, if you want to support the channel like Anthony Lamb, then consider joining the new TLDR membership program for just $1.99. Moving to the Middle East now, where US-guided missile submarines are soon to be stationed, in case current tensions flare up into armed conflict. It seems that the US is preparing for a retaliation by Iran and Hezbollah, following the assassination of Hamas political leader Ismail Haniyeh in Tehran and a senior Hezbollah commander in Beirut. It's been reported that Major General Pat Ryder, the Pentagon's press secretary, has spoken with Israel Defense Minister Yoav Gallant in order to reiterate that the US is committed to take every possible step to defend Israel, and noted the strengthening of US military force posture and capabilities throughout the Middle East in light of escalating regional tension. The Pentagon has confirmed that the USS Abraham Lincoln Carrier Strike Group, which carries F-25C fighter jets, has had its journey to the region accelerated. It was set to replace the USS Theodore Roosevelt aircraft, which was already stationed in the region and is now set to return home. Additionally, the USS Georgia, which is a guided missile submarine, will also be sent to the region. It's not immediately clear when the USS Abraham Lincoln or the USS Georgia will arrive in the region. In other news, Mexican President Andrés Manuel López Obrador, or AMLO, has rejected a request by the Ukrainian government, supported by the EU, to arrest Russian President Vladimir Putin if he attends the inauguration of the country's next president in October. Speaking to reporters last week, AMLO said, "We can't do that, and it's not up to us." The comments came in response to a statement from the Ukrainian embassy in Mexico, which said, "We hope the Mexican government is aware that Vladimir Putin is a war criminal with an arrest warrant against him." For context, in March 2023, the International Criminal Court, or ICC, issued an arrest warrant for Putin, citing his responsibility for, quote, "the war crime of unlawful deportation of population or children from occupied areas of Ukraine to the Russian Federation." Countries that are party to the ICC, which include Mexico and all of the EU's 27 member states, are under legal obligation to enforce ICC arrest warrants, although in practice there aren't really any consequences if they don't. In June, after Mexico's next president, Claudia Sheinbaum, was elected, Putin congratulated her and called Mexico a historically friendly partner of Russia in Latin America. Sheinbaum's team has invited Putin to attend her inauguration, noting that it was sent a diplomatic notice to all countries with which Mexico maintains diplomatic relations. We now move to discuss some science news. It's been reported this week that the Perseid meteor shower will brighten the sky across the northern hemisphere. The Perseid meteor shower is considered one of the best meteor showers of the year, and is usually active from mid-July to mid-August. The spectacle happens when the Earth moves through a period of space that contains material shed from the comet 109P Swift-Tuttle. Small fragments, often around the size of a grain of sand, hit the atmosphere and burn up, causing the bright streaks we see in the sky. They're expected to peak overnight from tonight into Tuesday. Speaking about the visibility of the meteors, Dr. Ed Bloomer, a senior astronomer at the Royal Observatory Greenwich, said that the Perseids should give good viewing a couple of days either side, with local weather and light conditions probably more significant factors than the precise mathematical peak. And finally, after 19 days, 754 competition sessions, 329 medal events and 32 world records, the 2024 Paris Olympics has been concluded. To recap the Paris Olympics in numbers, over 9.5 out of 10 million tickets were sold. 6 million visitors attended celebration sites across the capital, 14,000 athletes stayed in the Olympic villages across France, and 5,000 medals were produced, using 18 grams of iron from the Eiffel Tower. 125 Olympic records were broken in 10 disciplines, and 32 million new followers joined Olympic social media. The closing ceremony on Sunday evening featured a special appearance from Hollywood actor Tom Cruise, who abseiled down from the roof of the Stade de France to the Mission Impossible theme tune to mark the handing over of hosting duties to Los Angeles in 2028. There's a lot of difficult decisions to make here, and making huge decisions is difficult, even for world leaders. The good thing is that Brilliant is where you learn by doing, with thousands of interactive lessons in maths, data, programming, and AI. Their interactive classes help build your critical thinking skills through problem solving, not memorizing. So while you're building real knowledge on specific topics, you'll also be becoming a better thinker. For instance, their Predicting with Probability course can help you better understand and assess the world around you. You can learn to wrangle massive datasets, compare distributions, and master fundamental concepts like Bayes' theorem. That might sound a little technical, but with their active learning, you learn this by answering questions like which airline is least likely to have a delay due to weather, and how much more unruly airline passengers have gotten since the pandemic. Data skills are absolutely necessary for navigating the modern world, and Brilliant is the best way to get them. To try everything Brilliant has to offer for free for a full 30 days, visit brilliant.org/TLDR, or click the link in the description. You'll also get 20% off an annual premium subscription.